Board meeting of Tuesday, June 13th, 2023. Would you be kind enough to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all very much. For the folks at home, this is the agenda for this evening. We will have our supervisor's report and town clerk's report, some announcements, move right on into some good news related to the engineering studies for Forest Park and College Park on speed limit request. We're going to take up that resolution to approve the request to DOT to lower to 25 mile an hour on those roadways, indicated roadways. We have 3 resolutions related to the Rec Park connector, classifying the environmental review type, authorizing the bids to be let, and to approve a form of easement. We are going to entertain a motion to approve an amended 284 agreement now that we've discovered that we have some more funding for this from the state for road improvements. Excuse me. We're also going to set a public hearing amending the list of streets with a stop sign to include Elm Street. We're going to accept the audits of the various departments. We're going to take up at the end of the evening, after going into a brief attorney-client session, a resolution approving potentially an Article 7 settlement. We are authorizing 2 grant applications that we'll be working on over the next couple of weeks that we know of, and then more to come over the next several weeks. A comprehensive plan update and an application for an estuary grant, continuation of our work to replace our infrastructure. This is for culvert replacement project. And then a brief discussion on reorg, and then correspondence. And so that's what we have for tonight's agenda. For the folks at home, I will also let you know that soon we hope that you'll be able to once again watch your meetings on the local cable access channel 23. Panda has ordered the equipment, and they hope to be getting that up and running in the next several weeks, couple of months, something like that. We'll keep you posted on all of that. Okay, let's see, we'll do supervisor's report, shall we, folks? Were there any questions on the supervisor's report? I will tell you that this is for the period ending May 31st, 2023. We started the month with an opening balance of $9,305,000, had receipts of $708,000, disbursements of $1.234 million. We have an ending balance of $8,779,000, and we do have some budget adjustments. If you have any questions about those, please let me know. There you see the contribution from Charter for the equipment for Panda, so that they can have a 21st century operation and have up-to-date equipment. Okay, and those are the rest of the budget adjustments. Are there any other questions or comments, folks? If not, I would entertain a motion to accept the supervisor's report and the budget adjustments.
So moved.
Thank you, Bill. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Jacob.
Aye.
Christine, thank you. Okay, we also have the town clerk's report and an abstract. We'll do the clerk's report first, Ian, if you'd be kind enough.
The town clerk's report for the period of May 1st to May 31st, 2023. Total local shares remitted to the supervisor, $6,162.81. Amount paid to New York State Agriculture and Markets for the spay-neuter program, $32. Amount paid to New York State Department of Health for marriage licenses, $112.50. Amount paid to New York State Environmental Conservation for hunting and fishing licenses, $579.19. Total state, county, and local revenues, $6,886.50.
Very good.
And I hereby certify that vouchers numbered 30482 to 30612 processed in the month of May 2023 are an accurate reporting of the abstracts approved for payment by the town board.
Thank you, Deanna. Is there a motion to accept the clerk's report?
So moved.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Jacob. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move right into announcements. First of all, Tivoli would like us to know that they are having, once again, a Pride Walk this Saturday, June 17th, starting at the Savinsky on Friendship Street. And it's a walk up Broadway to the Hotel Tivoli there on the corner. And so look forward to seeing folks who would like to participate in that. It's a nice event. I will also note that this past Saturday at the combined Red Hook Rhinebeck Pride event at Church of the Messiah and surrounding grounds, there were several hundred people. It was really a great turnout. Lots of entities were represented there, and always have the best time when we're with Father McKeon over there at Church of the Messiah. So really,
No relation.
no relation. No relation, but I feel like he's a kindred spirit. So that's this Saturday, starts at 4 p.m. in Tivoli. Want to make you aware of a last minute change. So there is potentially some bad weather coming in tomorrow through the northern part of the county, and so Dutchess County Office of the Aging, they have their regional senior picnic at the fairgrounds. It was scheduled for tomorrow, Wednesday. It's now being rescheduled to Thursday. And so whatever we can do, Deanna, we should probably do an alert first thing in the morning. Maybe even we can see if Alex can work on that tonight. Get an alert ready to let folks know in our system to help spread the word that the picnic has been rescheduled to Thursday.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay, so we're all about clean energy and renewable energy. Of course, that creates a lot of jobs, and that also creates the need for some training. Citizens for Local Power wants folks to know who are interested in getting work in this field that they are having summer jobs available. There's a job training, a paid job training program that begins on the 26th, session 1 of June, and then also one in the fall. And you can learn about many of these types of activities and get trained in it. You must be 18 or over to apply, and there may even be transportation involved to get to the training program. So let me leave that up there. In Tower Kingston, I think we have this on our website already, or we will by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, we do. Great.
No, we will.
We will. Okay. Rebuilding Together, each year Rebuilding Together, which is a wonderful program that assists folks with making necessary repairs to their households. They are opening up the application period. It's now June 1st to August 31 of this year, and that's consideration for projects that would occur next year. It's been a part of one project here in the town of Red Hook, and it's a wonderful occasion to see skilled tradespeople in our region come together and assist our neighbors who need help in this area. Okay, there's more information about the different types of programs. The Red Hook Education Foundation is going backwards into the 70s, 80s, and 90s at Spiegel Tent this Friday, 6:30. It's a fundraiser. Tickets are $100 per person. They will be giving out a Frank Knobloch award to the family of Coach Kevin Stores, who passed away just recently. And for the folks, if you don't already know, music is in full swing every week in the village at the telephone building there, Eat and Go, and that takes place every Friday night from 6 to 8 p.m. And there is the schedule of who will be playing. We could focus on that. I know it's kind of faint, but for the folks at home, that also will be on our events calendar. You can take a look at what's happening there. Always a great turnout. Lastly, the MTA is increasing fares. You've probably already heard about it. If you want to participate in any public hearings related to that, we have that schedule up here, the various locations. You also can participate remotely because they are holding hybrid public hearings. Okay, that's all I have for announcements. Does anybody have anything that I failed to mention?
There's no time on the Office of the Aging picnic.
Okay.
You-
Well, we will get that out. Maybe Alex can see. I believe that's noonish. Typically that's when it is, but
Okay, we'll find out.
we should probably check with OFA. All right, so let's move right on in on the agenda, shall we? Resolution number 38. So for the folks at home, as you know, we've been working the last couple of years to try and get the ability to determine the appropriate speed limits for the various roadways within our community. We had some success in last year's legislative session. We were able to convince the legislature to allow for 25-mile-an-hour roadways in a township, and that was good news. Unfortunately, during this session, they did not approve the second part of the equation, which is allowing home rule so that we can make those decisions. The board came to the conclusion that we needed to fund an engineering study in these two residential subdivisions which are experiencing recurring problems, and we do now have the results of those studies, and they confirm our suspicion that it is appropriate to lower the speed limits on those roadways to 25 miles an hour. We take the next step, as we always do with speed limit requests, which is to forward to the county and to ultimately county for their input, DOT for their approval. So that's what we have in front of us, folks. There's a technical memo you can see from the engineers that's also available on our town website. Board members, are there any questions related to this? Okay, good. Well, I'm happy to advance resolution number 38, and if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to move it.
And,
Is there a second?
Mr. Supervisor, could I ask you to insert the date of the technical memorandum?
I think it was left at June 7th.
Right, but there's a blank, so just in the
June
resolution,
7th.
if we
We'll
could
do
please
that.
insert that. Thank
Yep,
you.
in our copy. Okay.
Thank you.
I moved it with the edit of inserting the date of the memo as June 7th. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Bill Hammond. Any further discussion? All right, resolution number 38. All in favor? Jacob?
Aye.
Julio?
Aye.
Christine?
Aye.
Very good. Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed. The DOT.
Yeah, reducing the speed.
All right, we've got several resolutions related. There I go, skipping a little too fast. Do I? No. Related to the rec park connector. Sorry, folks, got a lot of scrolling to do here. Hence the name technical.
That's a good information.
Okay, so we've got 3 resolutions. One would be seeker classifying the action, and we've got easements or form of easements to approve. Obviously, they'll be specifically tailored to the, I think, 2 or 3 properties that may be involved. And then a resolution letting bid. So shall we start with seeker?
And, Mr.
Okay.
Supervisor, maybe you'd like to scroll to the EAF
Yeah.
that was provided by the engineer.
Yeah, time bond. Forwarded the EAF, is it in our online packet? Let's hope so, there we go, okay.
So.
All right, Chris, would you like to walk us through it?
Yeah, we'll just note that this is really just a small addition to a project that we've been through seeker on the Rec Park West as a whole and adopted the master plan for that several years ago. Then we amended our Rec Park plan in 2019 for the Challenger Field plan. And we adopted seeker for that. So this is a connector road that will, path, which will connect the paths and will complete paths that were contemplated in that rec plan on the West Rec Park West. So the connector is just continue that over to the old rec park. So this seeker would address that connector, okay? And so this is he's prepared a short EAF that identifies no significant impacts as a result of that project, and he describes the last amendment of 2019 of the review, seeker review and neg deck process, and since then that project has been proceeding in accordance with the plan, and this is to provide safe access to the Rec Park East and Rec Park West for pedestrians and bicycles.
Any questions about the EAF? Shall we take the impact assessment?
That's 9. And then we have a resolution to adopt a termination of non-significance for an unlisted action. And that would be for a short EAF dated June 9th, as prepared by Ryan Morrison for time bond. So that blank in your resolution would be June 9th.
Okay, and that would be resolution number 39, I believe, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, who'd like to move that?
So moved.
Thank you, Christine. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor? Bill?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Moving on to resolution number 40. I guess it doesn't really matter which order you take these in. While the engineers are buttoning up the specs on the bidding documents, let's authorize going out to bid for these. We know we need to do so for this work because of the cost of the project exceeds the minimum threshold. Resolution number 40. And so,
This is for bids.
this is for bids, yeah. And it calls for the bidding documents to be, the bids to be returned by July 14th, Bastille Day, 2 o'clock. That should give us 5 weeks. That should be enough time. If we have to do an extension, we have to do an extension. We need to keep this moving because we want to get the work done during this summer, late summer. Okay. Any questions on this before we entertain this? Okay. It's resolution number 40. Authorizing the solicitation of public bids, Town of Red Hook Recreation Park Fruit Bud Connector. And I so move. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, 5 ayes. Okay, okay, specifications. So we're talking about the easements at this point.
So these are temporary easements. The plan itself, which is included in your packet, I think, with the EAF documents, shows that the extension, the connector is going to be built in the right-of-way, but for access and for some paving adjustments and things like that, there's a temporary easement that's required along there. So that is being requested of the neighbors.
Okay. Okay, it's resolution 41. Who would like to move it?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, Bill?
Aye.
Jacob?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Okay, and for the folks at home, if you'd like to know more about the project, these documents are available on the town's website. Okay, we are at an amended 284 agreement, road improvements. Teresa has sent us a memo regarding additional funding and where she recommends the funding be used for. Teresa, is there anything to add to that?
No, it's
No?
all pretty straightforward.
Speaks for itself. Okay. All right, and for the folks at home, I will highlight for you, just so you know, what roads are being worked on. We have North Drive, Old Route 199, Pin Oak, Sycamore, Rokeby Extension, Dock, Station Hill, Barringtown, Lower Lane, Lisa Court, James Court, all on the northeastern side of town. And then we'll be doing some chip seal, Norton, Whalesback, Old Whalesback, and McManus. Okay, we don't need a resolution. A motion will suffice, and I move that we approve the amended 284 agreement. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, all in favor, Jacob?
Aye.
Christine?
Aye.
Julia?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much, Teresa, for the update. Okay, same thing here with the, this is a ministerial thing, we need to update our local law. We have to list the streets that Chris Shaw, I think we need to figure out a way to refer to a schedule so that we don't incur these types of costs
We
each
do refer
time.
to a schedule, but the schedule's on file with General Code and the Department of State so that it's enforceable as a regulation. So there are other ways to do these things, but they involve delegation, so.
Okay. So I'm going to recommend that we set this public hearing and then entertain the motion. I think we've all agreed, including our highway superintendent, at her recommendation that, you know, a stop sign be implemented there. So I'm going to recommend we hold the public hearing and then, barring any surprise input, that we hold off on approving it until we have something else to approve, because every time we update general code, we incur significant expense. So it could just be a temporary delay, because I think we have some other things that we want to update local law-wise.
So what are you expecting for a delay for this stop sign?
I don't know yet. I'll have a better sense before the public hearing of what we're talking about, but.
So at the public hearing, you'll decide to do it or not? I'm confused about the
No,
delay.
I think that, no,
other
the
things.
delay will be just a matter of updating general code. I'd like to lump it in with some other things that we're doing to save some money.
You have
because
other things on the schedule?
We have other things that we'll be considering for general
So
code.
the stop sign can't be installed until,
Understood.
All right, I'll let the resident know because I did not know that there would be a delay in the,
Well, don't forget, we're just setting the public hearing.
right,
So we'll
right.
have a sense by the public hearing of what, if any, delay will be for that. But it costs us thousands of dollars to change a local law, just even to put the words Elm Street on.
Yeah, everything
Yeah.
is expensive, I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
And liability is as well, so.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But as you know, it's a T intersection, and so they're required to stop.
Perfectly clear,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
I
with
think
or
that
without the stop sign.
Yeah, the reasons why I was recommending were in my report, so.
Yeah. Okay.
People don't obey the traffic and vehicle law as easily without a stop sign, unfortunately.
I know, and I don't think there's any disagreement, we need to put one there. It's just a
Whatever you
matter of,
decide.
yeah, it's just a matter of being efficient with the tax dollar. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the public hearing, set the public hearing, shall we, at our next meeting? We're up to 42,
Two.
is that right?
Yes.
42, thanks. 42, establishing a date for that public hearing, installing a stop sign at Elm Street at Aspinwall. That's June 28th, 7:35. Does that work, folks? Okay, so I so move.
Second.
All in favor? Jacob?
Aye.
Julia?
Aye.
Thank you, Bill. I wasn't gonna stick up here.
That's all right.
Did you think I was?
Just trying to speed up.
You just have to send me the list.
Okay, each year we have audits that are conducted of the various departments. It's a ministerial thing to accept them and also accept the recommendations. I'd like to suggest that we accept both the audits and the recommendations in our resolution. That'd be resolution 43. Any questions, folks? Okay, if not, I so move. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Bill. Julia?
Aye.
Jacob?
Aye.
Christine?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving right along, we're gonna come back to number 6 later on in the evening after we have a brief attorney-client session. There's our schedule of roadways. Okay, we gotta scroll through these, sorry. So just a couple of quick resolutions. We're gonna be going out for several grants in the next 5 or 6 weeks. So I didn't wanna have our June and July meetings chock full of authorizations, simply for grants. So a couple that we already know, that we'd like to try again for the Smart Growth Comprehensive Planning Grant. I'd like to just make a note in our resolution, which is 44. Julia, thank you for pointing out that this year, different than last year, is that there's no requirement for a match. However, we know from experience that having some kind of a match generally lets the authorizing agency know of our seriousness to conduct this type of work, that we're willing to have some skin in the game, if you will. So we have this resolution now 40, we have 44.
40.
Somebody keep
Well,
this
Howard,
straight.
let me just,
Would you please?
yeah, I'd be happy to move it, but I also want to correct, so the match, I believe, is still required, it's just there's no longer a maximum that you can request from the state.
Okay.
So this number, I think, probably still makes sense for the scope of
For,
project
you
that we
think
want.
for an since it's an update, it may be
Yeah.
not a complete overhaul?
Yeah, it's possible as we work through the application that we might decide we need to adjust that a little bit.
Okay,
We can come back.
okay. Good.
So yeah, I'd be happy to move. this resolution.
Please, Julia, would you?
So then is the language
So-
about subject to a 10% match, is that still?
That's correct.
Okay.
I think that's
So-
good. I think
Yeah.
that's good. Go ahead, Chris. Yeah.
And you still want the language, the maximum amount to be applied for, because that's still okay in terms of what you want to apply for?
He said there's no max.
I think it's fine if in the course of preparing the application, we determined that it needs to
We
change,
can
would we just
revise
come
it.
back and revise it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's good. It also increases the likelihood we'll get a grant if we're not asking for the same amount as those communities that are starting
Right.
from scratch and they need $250,000 or $500,000.
Right. And it's not a huge pot, I think it's like $2 million across the state, so.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not great, it's good.
So Julia moved 44. Who seconded that?
Second.
Oh. Somebody wanted his name on that. Okay. Thank you, Jacob. All in favor, Christine,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
myself, aye. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, replacement of culverts on town roads. So we've gone through many steps to get to this point, identifying culverts that would both match the interests of the state and of our local infrastructure needs. Condition of this particular culvert, which we believe to be on Willett. West Willets, I believe, right? West, did I have that right, Teresa? West Willets?
I think so.
Yeah, West Willets. And so we're hopeful that perhaps we can secure some funding to replace this culvert. So we've been advised that we can match 15% if we want, or if we want to score more points, we can match with 30% of the project cost. I would of course love to have all of the money for it, but I would also like to have the funds to do the project. So what do you all think? The resolution says not to exceed, and we don't have to make a decision tonight about what the match will be, because we're just determining the total project cost with the match not to exceed 30%. But I would ask you to consider, whatever we can do to increase our prospects, I'd be in favor of.
Is the 142,000 the maximum under the grant? 'Cause
I believe that's what we estimate the total project cost to be.
I thought when we saw it before, it was higher than that, but maybe it's been
That,
revised.
well, when Ryan came and gave the presentation,
Yeah.
I recall some rather large numbers.
Right.
But I couldn't remember which is which.
Not for that one.
Not for that one,
Okay, all right. So this would make, so it's a total cost of 142, and under this resolution, we'd be paying 30% of the 142,
Not
not
to
30%
exceed,
in
not to
addition
exceed.
to
If
the
we come back,
142.
if we come back in our next meeting and say, I think we should shoot for more, then let's go ahead and do that. But
Right, but just clarifying, the total cost is 142, so
Yes.
it's 30%
Of
of 142, not
Yes.
above, not in addition to. Just clarifying, right?
yeah, total project cost 142. So we could potentially, be contributing $50,000 towards that.
Right. Do we know what the pot of money is on this one?
We do, I forget what the number was. I can shoot you that as well. But it's all points based, so. Right? You know about these things. Yeah,
Yep.
we've been there, done that many a time.
Right.
Okay.
Well, 100,000 is better than no thousands.
Exactly.
So,
Okay,
I can move the resolution if you
would you
want.
please? 45?
Mhm.
Second.
speedy, thank you. All in favor, Julia?
Go down this end.
Bill?
Aye.
Myself. Thank you. All right. Culvert replacement, smart growth, reorg. Just to say, we had another letter of interest for the planning board. Dave Vosberg's interested in joining now. We're up to 6 members. I think we should probably check in on the composition, who's staying on that board, because the only thing we could, if we wanted to offer Dave a spot, is something just for a few months. That term is coming to a close this year. So I think it'd be a good idea to check in with Sam and see other members. For example, we have Mayor Smythe is on there and doing a great job. But I know she indicated she's not going to be there forever in that position. So we might want to take a look at that spot if we're going to consider Dave or somebody else to join the planning board.
Is this correct?
Well, that needs to be updated, yeah. So,
So are you suggesting we take any action today, or wait?
I think we should wait and maybe take a look at the composition, check in with Sam and see what, maybe even ask him to check with Karen and see what her plans are. Her spot is for,
Well, I don't know that we have to target a particular person.
no, I'm.
In this discussion.
I'm not, that's
So,
part.
right.
You understand what I'm saying.
Right, so, let's
That's
just
a
leave it
20,
broad and say if we
broad
want
and
to
say-
check in on
And see if there are
skills and makeup of the board and such, then we'll go from
vacancies.
there.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's leave it for the next meeting.
So when we can get the information.
Okay, I don't really have anything else, folks, in correspondence. Does anybody have anything else before we go into attorney-client?
I do. Will you be signing the 284 agreement tonight?
Yes, we will.
Thank you. 2 copies. Okay.
Oh, right. And then we do have one other thing on reorg. I'll go back to the initial. I don't know if we have to formally appoint Brandon also as the deputy CEO so that he can work under the tutelage of Bob Fennell. And where do we have that? Okay. Deputy Building Inspector Brandon Mullins, but we need to also put underneath where we used to have Director of Purchasing. So Deanna, on that list, if we would have a line for Deputy Zoning Enforcement Officer. And so let's appoint Brandon for that position, shall we, since he will
So
be
does it-
acting.
So it
It's
says
gonna
deputy
go-
building inspector part-time, so it should say deputy zoning inspector, officer part-time, or should it be
No,
one of
well,
those?
Brandon's full-time, so no.
Right, so should we get rid of the PT for
We should.
deputy building inspector?
We should.
Well,
And, yep, we should. There should be no part-time. Fennell is correct, but deputy building inspector, PT for Brandon, yes, the PT should be
I
remote.
don't understand.
So I'm gonna go ahead and make that motion. We appoint Brandon Mullins as deputy CEO. Is there a second?
I second.
Oh, thank you, Bill. I missed that. All in favor, Julio?
Aye.
Christine?
Aye.
Jacob?
Aye.
very much.
Do you need to give a question? Mr. Supervisor, just one second.
Yes,
Just want to
ma'am.
make sure we have a clarification.
Deputy ZEO,
Brandy.
not municipal code enforcement inspector?
No, he
No.
is, he's holding two positions.
No, I'm asking, am
Yeah.
I putting deputy municipal code enforcement inspector,
No,
ZEO?
no, he's got two different lines.
Yes, I know.
Okay, the first line is deputy building inspector, which is gonna stay, and they're adding another line that's gonna say deputy CEO,
Okay, that's it then. No.
right, for
Yeah,
Brandon,
that's all.
okay?
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I
all
was
you got.
asking.
Yeah, that's all right,
No
I just wanna
worries.
make sure we have clear for your records. Yeah.
No worries. Anything else, folks?
Nope.
All right, if not, good night to everyone at home. Hope you have a wonderful
I
summer,
think it's gonna be long.
June. The weather's been nice so far. And at this time, I would entertain a motion to go into attorney-client. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Christine. All in favor? Jacob? Aye. Julia? Bill? Myself. Good night, everyone.